Всем добрый день. Надеюсь, нас видно и слышно. Спасибо, что подключились к нам сегодня. Давайте мы минуточку подождем, пока нам отпишутся, видно ли нас. Все ли хорошо со звуком. Сегодня мы поговорим об образовании в Австралии. Небольшое расписание сегодняшнего мероприятия. Вначале выступит Наталья Коновалова, представитель Австралийской торговой инвестиционной комиссии при Посольстве Австралии в Москве. Расскажет нам небольшие статистические данные по Австралии, почему стоит выбирать эту страну, какие прекрасные университеты там в принципе в общем есть. И далее выступит Трэвис Эдвардс, региональный представитель университета Нового Южного Уэльса, который находится в Сиднее, один из ведущих университетов Австралии, который входит в топ-50 лучших вузов мира, и расскажет об особенностях обучения, какие есть возможности, стипендии, про стажировки. То есть получите всю самую интересную, свежую информацию из первых рук. Так, нас хорошо вроде бы видно и слышно. И я сейчас передам слово Наталье.
Добрый день, коллеги. Меня зовут Наталья. Я работаю в Австралийской торговой инвестиционной комиссии и занимаюсь вопросами международного образования. Очень рада, что нас пригласили сегодня на это мероприятие. Direct Talk, наш замечательный партнер, с которым мы работаем по сектору международного образования. Трэвис Эдвардс, один из наших ключевых партнеров, университет Южного Нового Уэльса. Они уже давно у нас в регионе, не только работают со студентами, но также тесно сотрудничают с некоторыми институтами в Москве и в регионах. Поэтому институт хорошо нас знает, любит российских студентов, ежегодно приезжает на разного рода мероприятия, выставки, семинары, встречается с родителями. Поэтому я думаю, вам будет очень интересно послушать из первых рук, что на сегодняшний день предлагает университет, какие есть возможности для обучения. А со своей стороны мне хотелось бы, наверное, начать с того, что... Сейчас, секундочку. Я... переключусь на презентацию. Со своей стороны, мне хотелось бы обратить внимание в целом на Австралию, потому что мы очень рады, конечно, что вы с нами. Это значит, что вы интересуетесь образованием. Для кого-то это может быть первое образование, кто-то повышает квалификацию, интересуетесь программами магистратуры, докторантуры. Огромные возможности открываются сегодня для всех студентов. И у себя в родной стране, и за рубежом. Но, конечно, выбор зависит от многих факторов. Это и ваши желания, ваши стратегии, это и специальность, которую вы выбираете. У многих из вас семьи, есть дети. Чем вы будете заниматься, где вы будете учиться, какие платформы предлагают вам институты и страны для того, чтобы вы могли реализовать свой потенциал. Сегодня мы поговорим немножко об Австралии. Что предлагает страна? Один из глобальных лидеров в области образования. Мы узнаем, почему студенты выбирают эту страну. Австралия, мы часто говорим и ассоциируем Австралию с Future Unlimited, безграничные возможности. Наверное, это так для кого-то. Кто-то не уверен. Давайте посмотрим, почему безграничные возможности предлагает именно Австралия. Правительство вкладывает огромные ресурсы в развитие самого образовательного сектора. Если вы посмотрите, то в структуре экспорта страны Австралия сектор образования занимает 3-е место. Это на сегодняшний день это уже около 30 миллиардов австралийских долларов. Но когда мы говорим о ресурсах, железная руда, уголь, нефть, газ, разве мы думаем, что образование может приносить в казну страны точно такие же средства? Как следствие, очень хорошая инфраструктура. Студентам нравится учиться. Они едут учиться и на долгосрочные, и на краткосрочные программы. И Австралия занимает 3-е место в мире по количеству иностранных студентов. Количество это неуклонно растет за последние, здесь 3-4 года. но если вы посмотрите статистику за последние 10-15 лет, она положительная. Это в разрезе по секторам образования. Высшее образование, среднее профессиональное, английский язык. Как вы видите, количество студентов в Австралии увеличивается из года в год. Если мы говорим о выборе страны обучения, безусловно, вы руководствуетесь своими планами, своими стратегиями. Но если посмотреть в целом, на что студенты обращают внимание, когда выбирают страну обучения, то это, безусловно, программа, предмет, который они хотят обучать, страна, в которой они хотят учиться, университет. Но интересно, в прошлом году 93% студентов отметили, что выбрали Австралию из соображений безопасности. Вопросы безопасности нахождения детей, взрослых сейчас представляют большую важность, конечно, для семей. Почему Австралия? Я, наверное, обратила бы внимание на несколько ключевых факторов. Безопасность, да, одна из самых безопасных стран в мире. Дальше мы говорим о качестве ваших программ. Прежде всего, дипломы, квалификации австралийских учебных заведений признаются во всем мире. Гибкая система обучения. Это значит, что вы можете менять или выбирать свои программы, исходя из того, вот на данный момент времени, где вы хотите обучаться, на какой программе. Высшего образования в университете или, скажем, высшего образования на дипломной программе. Это прежде всего поддержка студентов. В связи с тем, что Австралия одна из немногих стран, которая ввела закон, защищающий права иностранных студентов, студенты поддерживаются учебными заведениями и университетами. Поддержка эта оказывается бесплатной. Это может быть помощь в академической успеваемости, помощь в поиске квартиры, помощь в поиске работы и так далее. То есть есть отдельные подразделения в Австралии, которые занимаются поддержкой иностранных студентов. Ну и, конечно, все мы хотим получить опыт работы, международный опыт работы. Австралия дает такую возможность за счет законодательства, которое позволяет иностранным студентам учиться во время работы. И, немаловажный факт, остаться в Австралии на работу после окончания учебы в университете. Вот так выглядит система образования в Австралии. После школы вы можете напрямую поступить в университет, это левая колонка, либо вы можете поступить в систему профессионального образования, это правая колонка. То есть вся система объединяет 10 уровней образования. Почему мы говорим, дипломы признаются в мире? Потому что все ваши квалификации, все компетенции, они прозрачны, они понятны любому работодателю в мире. Они отталкиваются именно от этой системы, понимая, какими знаниями вы владеете, какими навыками, какую работу, какую должность вы можете занять. Вот, например, степень бакалавриата. Очень четко прописано, чему вас обучат и на выходе, какими знаниями вы будете обладать. Как это выглядит? Есть замечательные программы, так называемые pathway. Перевести трудно. Такие сквозные подготовительные программы. Трэвис расскажет в своей презентации немного о той программе, которую они запустили недавно, в прошлом году. Если студент не может напрямую поступить в университет на свою программу бакалавриата, скажем, не хватает английского языка, или хочет получить чуть больше знаний по основным предметам, есть возможность поступить на дипломную программу в университет и потом перейти на программу бакалавриата. Но мой коллега более подробно об этом расскажет. Звучит эта программа University of New Diplomas. Прекрасная, замечательная программа, великолепный выбор для тех, кто, скажем, не может сразу поступить на инженерную программу, на бакалавриат. Австралия – глобальный лидер в образовании, в исследованиях. 15 лауреатов Нобелевской премии, 6 университетов в топ-100 таких глобальных рейтингов, QS, Times Higher Education. И если вы посмотрите на те достижения науки, которыми мы пользуемся, Wi-Fi – это достижение австралийских ученых, бионическое ухо, черный ящик и так далее. Очень многие обращают внимание на рейтинги, но я бы сказала, что надо с осторожностью к ним относиться. Если вы ничего не знаете о стране, наверное, есть смысл посмотреть, сориентироваться по университетам, вообще какая система образования в той или иной стране. но отталкивайтесь все же от той программы, которую вы будете изучать, от той дисциплины, которая вас интересует. Кроме того, почему выбирают Австралию? Ну, мы говорим естественный выбор. Конечно, страна иммигрантов. Практически половина австралийцев – это выходцы из-за рубежа. Страна очень добродушно приветствует иностранных студентов. Очень много мероприятий организовано по приветствию именно тех людей, которые впервые оказались в стране, которые хотят учиться, хотят работать, и их встречают местные сообщества. Есть возможность изучить какие-то другие языки. По удовлетворенности студентов, посмотрите, все отмечают, 92%, при въезде в страну оказывается огромная поддержка студентам. 89% степень удовлетворенности условиями жизни, обучения. И то, о чем я говорила, 90% отмечают поддержку студентов. Это важно. Вы выбираете какую-то тему для изучения, но вы должны быть уверены, что вас поддержит ваш профессор, что он поможет вам выбрать вашу программу, тему для изучения, и вы с ним спокойно, уверенно будете работать над этой программой. Поэтому это очень важно. Если мы посмотрим во временном отрезке, да, 14 год, 16, ну, удовлетворенность услугами австралийских учебных заведений неуклонно растет. Профессиональный опыт, когда вы выбираете какую-то профессию, наверное, стоит обратить внимание, насколько хорошо развиты индустрии в той или иной стране. Вот, скажем, по Австралии отмечу, и, конечно, вы тоже знаете, Австралия и Россия очень схожие страны, мы ресурсные страны. Соответственно, горная промышленность, нефтегазовая, все, что связано с инженерией, сельское хозяйство, показатели работы этих индустрий намного превышают средние показатели по миру. Как следствие, и программы в этих направлениях будут тоже предлагаться в более широком таком аспекте нашими университетами. Вот то, о чем я говорила, до 40 часов в неделю студент имеет право работать, причем его место работы не ограничено кампусом. Вы можете найти какую-то волонтерскую работу, прекрасная возможность получить запись своей трудовой книжки. Post-study work visa, отдельное подразделение, отдельный подраздел визы, такой сабкласс 485, который позволяет студентам-выпускникам университетов остаться на работу от 2 до 4 лет, в зависимости от программы, которую вы закончили. Бакалавриат на 2 года, PhD, выпускник докторантуры на 4 года. Работодатели отмечают высокий уровень подготовки выпускников университетов. Вот 84% работодателей отметили, что они абсолютно довольны работниками, которые вот только что вышли из университета. Если мы посмотрим на рейтинг, который отмечает, как быстро студенты находят работу, как их поддерживают университеты, то вы видите, Австралия очень высоко котируется в мире вот именно в плане поддержки студенчества. Лучшие города в мире для студентов – это Мельбурн, Сидней, Брисбен. Когда мы говорим о том, что же в них хорошего, ну, прежде всего, это инфраструктура, это медицинское обслуживание, это возможность реализовать свой потенциал. Для тех, кто хочет пригласить семью, Австралия занимает ведущее место в мире, 7-ю позицию с точки зрения привлекательности туризма. Вы можете кататься на лыжах, вы можете купаться, вы можете заниматься скалолазанием, все опции открыты. Есть стипендии, о них Трэвис расскажет, университета, есть стипендия правительства Австралии. Скажем, вы можете претендовать на стипендию postgraduate, это магистратура, PhD, и информационные ресурсы. Есть общий сайт правительства Австралии, где вы можете найти информацию об Австралии, о системе, какие-то полезные ссылки, загрузки. Вот, скажем, профиль университета New South Wales можно также прочитать на этом сайте. Есть справочник, который в целом вас сориентирует, как организовать свою жизнь в Австралии, на что обратить внимание, новости, события, все, что мы проводим совместно с нашими партнерами, мы публикуем на этом сайте. И еще раз обращаю ваше внимание на то, что на сегодняшний день студенческая виза существует в одном варианте, это 500-я виза. Всю информацию по визам вы можете почитать на сайте Home Affairs. Еще обращаю внимание на то, что уже в течение нескольких лет виза не вклеивается в паспорт, поэтому от вас не требуется, чтобы вы приносили его. С вами не проводится интервью. В случае необходимости, как правило, визовые офицеры связываются с вами по телефону. Также обращаю внимание на то, что с прошлого года все визы подаются только в режиме онлайн. Если у вас есть какие-то вопросы, вы можете почитать на сайте. Если есть сегодня вопросы, с удовольствием на них отвечу. Спасибо, коллеги.
Слово Тревису. So, Travis.
Yes. Hello, everyone. So it's my turn now, is that right? Okay, bear with me. I'll just transfer the screen for everyone. Okay. Can everyone see that? I'm having trouble viewing it from my end here.
Now we can see only you.
Okay, yep. Bear with me. Can anyone see?
Yeah.
Can you see my presentation now?
Yes.
Oh, very good. Okay, great. Well, thanks everyone for joining us here today. My name's Travis Edwards and I'm from UNSW Sydney, as you may have already heard. We've had a great presentation from Natalia regarding all things available for higher education in Australia, and hopefully with a bit more information specifically about UNSW Sydney, you might find it also to be an interesting option for your studies outside of Russia. Now, to give you a bit of an overview, the idea of today's session on UNSW Sydney is to give you a bit more information about the institution, some of the courses that we offer, the subjects, a little bit about life at UNSW and in Sydney, and a bit more detail about fees and scholarships. And at the end, of course, we're very happy to answer any questions you may have about Australian higher education or UNSW Sydney specifically. So let's hope they're going to be useful to you in your decision making. Now, to start with, I'd like to highlight that UNSW Sydney, it's one of the original group of 8 universities. So that's essentially like one of the Ivy League or Russell Group equivalent universities within the Australian higher education system. Now, at UNSW Sydney, we currently have 53,000 students from 120 countries. So it makes it quite a multicultural place to be, with students from many parts of the world. We have courses from more than 900 different areas across 9 faculties. So there's a big multi-disciplinary institution that we are at UNSW Sydney. And we have an extensive worldwide alumni network with some 275,000 people worldwide. So that makes it quite a good place to be beyond your studies. Now, a few of the key things that might be of interest to you. In terms of rankings, you'll see that there are lots of different rankings and tables when considering a university anywhere in the world. But we're most proud of the fact that we're consistently a top 100 university and feature most strongly in the QS World University rankings for 2017-18 as number 45 in the world. So that puts us in good stead in terms of the offerings we have. And as I'll highlight a little bit later, some of our subjects or faculties specifically are ranked even higher than that. In terms of our employer reputation, I know that Natalia has already highlighted the position of a number of Australian universities, but worldwide, UNSW is considered the 22nd best in the world for employer reputation. So beyond your studies, you should be in good stead for working opportunities. We also have very good academic reputations across our faculties. We consider ourselves to be one of the leaders in innovation, and one of the leaders in education, particularly in Australian terms, as member of the group of 8, as I've highlighted, the Plus Alliance, and a number of other great consortiums of top-ranked universities. So our location at UNSW Sydney is quite central within the city of Sydney. So if you can see my mouse here, we take up a good proportion of the space of Sydney in the eastern suburbs, and we're about 20 minutes from the central business district of Sydney. So if you're looking for jobs or internships or part-time work, we're very, very well positioned to some of the big firms that you may be considering. We're also close to the beaches, the closest of which is Coogee Beach, which is just a couple of kilometers from the campus, and Bondi Beach, which is world famous as a top beach to be able to go to within the city sphere. Now, a little bit more about the UNSW faculties. For the 900 programs we offer, but they range from art and design, art and social science, the built environment, so things like architecture and urban planning, the business school, engineering, law, medicine and science. And UNSW Canberra, which is a specific campus away from Sydney, we have a number of programs for the postgraduate level, particularly in engineering sciences. So in terms of art and design, we're currently ranked 31st in the world for this particular subject area. There are a number of world-class facilities. We attract people from all over the world interested in different spheres and mediums of art and design. What I think is most interesting is that there's a real focus within our Faculty of Art and Design, not just on the core parts of a discipline, but also making you employable beyond that. So one of the interesting research projects that's going on at the moment is the 3D visualization and aesthetics lab. Basically, since 2014, we've become a leader in biomedical data visualizations. So that uses technology related to VR, computer graphics, as well as the clinical and laboratory scan data that's available. So it's merging different areas of UNSW and our expertise to make things a little bit more practical. So what this project specifically looks at, providing a 3D virtual reality experience of the human body. And here is just as one of the graphics here, you see the type of snippets that you get. And it's allowing scientists and medical practitioners alike to be able to explore some of the different problems and diseases out there and come up with solutions based on these different and new innovative views of the human body. In terms of arts and social science, this is a very big faculty for us. Now, we're consistently ranked in the top 50 for this particular discipline, 16th in the world for social sciences as an area of study, and 27th for arts and humanities. Now, as a discipline, it's specifically covering a range of different areas, lots of different majors you can choose from, and lots of options that you may wish to consider, whether it's in the in literature or the humanities, languages, international relations, history. It's all there, and well worth exploring if you're interested in any of those types of studies. As for the built environment, that particular area of study is ranked, our institution is ranked 23rd in the world. And we have a particularly strong academic department, well acclaimed award winners that are very active in their field. And I think it's most important when you're in a discipline like this, whether it's from urban planning, architecture, sustainable built environment, or construction project management, that you're involved with people that are professionals as well as academics and have access to professional links, real industry problems, and a sense of what's required beyond just your studies. And people get a lot more serious at that postgraduate level, and it's important to have key outcomes for you there. Now, business school is very well acclaimed. It's currently ranked number 10 in the world for accounting and finance as a specific area of study. We are also ranked 22 for business and management studies, and number 31 for economics and econometrics. So across the various spheres of business, we are performing very well. We also have a top 100 MBA program. So that is something that we're offering. It is in high demand. It's an interesting area of study. And again, we have active professionals that are leaders in their field that are also part of our academic department and have something to offer you in terms of their industry links and understanding of each of those sectors. Engineering is the largest area of study for UNSW Sydney. Has a very big range of specialisms and disciplines available. It's currently ranked number 1 in Australia as a faculty and number 27 in the world overall, which is an exciting thing for us. It allows us to have good access to funding, a great number of academics available for each of these specialisms, and provides good links for you to be able to find a specialism that you may not be able to find at other institutions worldwide. So minerals and mining is a very pronounced area of the faculty, ranked number 9 in the world, but it includes also civil engineering, chemical engineering, electrical engineering, computer science, mechanical, all of the key areas that you would expect a top engineering faculty to have. So there are some 24 specializations within the master's level alone. Any of those interested in research as well, there are lots of academics to call upon to be able to support you as well. There are some interesting projects going on in the Faculty of Engineering Science. One of my favorites is the SunSwift Solar Racing Team, considered the best solar racing team in Australia. Students, they lead on these particular projects in designing and building solar-powered cars. And we do a biannual World Solar Challenge, which is a 3,000 kilometer race from Darwin to Adelaide. So it's also a world record holder for the 500 kilometer distance. And the team is currently working towards the first internationally recognized road legal solar car. So ambitious, perhaps, but also very exciting if you're interested in that sort of new energy kind of field. In terms of quantum computing, this is one of our absolute strengths. We currently have the engineers at UNSW have created a new quantum bit, which is 10 times more stable than previously achieved. And it makes for a super powerful quantum computer that we're looking to build upon in the future. And that's attracted a lot of investment, both from industry and from academia and government. And that puts us in good stead to be able to progress with this significantly in the future. We also have high achievers in this area. And one of our academics was actually awarded the Australian of the Year prize in 2018 for her efforts in quantum computing, and has also been given other accolades week to week, month to month thereafter. So it's very exciting for our academics in that particular area. As for law, law is currently ranked 16th in the world as a discipline for us. And that gives us a good amount of scope for the types of connections they have within an industry, but also worldwide. So we have great collaborations overseas with top law schools as a top law school, which attracts academics from those particular institutions that are visiting, but also gives us expertise on not only the Australian law system, but also international law system as well. And access to different types of industry experience as a student to be able to really hone in and refine your skills in that area. What we've also introduced as of this year is a new Master of Law, or LLM. We had one before, but this is an update, and will include a number of different features that were different than in the past. So for applications in Term 1 or Term 3 2019, they are being opened up shortly. This is open to candidates with or without a law degree, and specialisms can include those related to Chinese law, criminology, human rights, corporate law, international law, technology law, and many more. So essentially that requires you to complete 4 modules in a discipline or a specialism to have that as part of your degree. So a very interesting time for that particular area of study for us. In terms of medicine, we have a top 100 medical program, and we have access to a great range of clinical resources across Sydney and across Australia. So that allows students to have obviously access to the core medical program to become a practitioner, but also a number of postgraduate coursework programs and research programs that allows you to specialize in that field in a number of different areas. In terms of science, there are a number of different disciplines that relate to the science area, of course. We consistently perform in the top 100 in all of these, whether that's chemistry, maths, earth and marine sciences, or physics and astronomy. But psychology also falls under that bracket, and we're currently ranked 20th in the world for psychology. Incredibly focused on the clinical setting, which gives us access to a great deal of resources and leading professionals and academics in the field. So it's quite an interesting area and quite a popular area of study for us at UNSW Sydney. As Natalia touched upon, a new exciting development for UNSW is the introduction of the UNSW diplomas within our global team. So this is primarily for engineering and science pathways, and it offers direct entry to the second year of an undergraduate degree upon successful completion. So it reduces that time you might need to get the foundations necessary to advance within a discipline related to those areas. So the entry requirements for Russian nationals, that's a 4.5, average of the best 4 subjects. Excuse me. Also, in terms of English language, we look for an IELTS overall of 6.0 or TOEFL of 75. But there are other equivalents listed on our website as well that we will consider that are converted the same. Excuse me. Applications can be made directly on the UNSW Global website, and more details are available on this URL. Ultimately, intakes are for the 3rd of September and 28th of January for 2018 and 2019, if you are interested. For a bit of an overview of the learning experience at UNSW, you'll find that the learning experience is focused on independent study and research with fewer contact hours. So there's a real focus on completing all readings before a lecture. Lectures range from 30 to 300 students, and this is really dependent on the type of subject that you're actually studying. Some are in high demand if you're looking at something like business, but something more niche, perhaps in philosophy or a particular language, you'll find that some of those particular lectures are smaller. In terms of tutorials, these are generally around 20 students per class. Attendance for tutorials is compulsory, and you must attend at least 80% to satisfy the course requirements. For those of you that may be looking at a program where there's a laboratory time or sort of clinical practice, these are generally smaller groups again, up to 20 per class. And those related to engineering and science have more of that hands-on experience necessary, and attendance is compulsory. So it's important that people attend those. And if you're looking at the types of assessments that are involved, these will vary from program to program. But as I highlighted, class attendance is considered critical. Group work assignments are part of that. There are presentations, essays, and exams. Some of those programs will also require a thesis at the postgraduate level. We also have a number of internship programs for students as they study at UNSW. These relate to banking and finance, media studies, PR and advertising. Some of the programs we offer, specific as an internship offering, can be 2 full days a week, plus an additional academic period of contact hours with a supervisor. They can be given credit. Well, this varies from program to program, and extra information is available related to your discipline. So beyond the classroom, people are often interested in finding out about our university accommodation. So on campus, we have around 5,000 beds on site, and they range from 220 Australian dollars to 585 Australian dollars per week. This will really be dependent on the type of option you'd be electing, whether that's for a self-service apartment, right through to more shared living, self-catered or catered, having your own ensuite or a shared ensuite. And this varies for each individual's preferences. As for private options, they're typically something that we can support with from our accommodation office as well, for recommendations about certain providers, but they will normally require a 6 to 12 month lease, an average between 200 to 300 Australian dollars per week. So if you want any more details, do check out our student accommodation office website, and they can provide you with more details about what it's all about. Key to that, a lot of people do choose to live in the surrounding areas as well as on campus, because we're so close to the beach or in the city, and it is a real lifestyle factor when choosing to study at UNSW Sydney. Around academia, we have great access to the beaches, as I highlighted before. So there are surf camps. The Blue Mountains is a World Heritage Site about an hour and a half west of Sydney. And in that space, there's wonderful nature, lots of different cafes and restaurants. And beyond that is the Jenolan Caves. We have the Hunter Valley wine region. Canberra, which is the capital of Australia, isn't too far away either. You could do whale watching a couple of hours north. You can go to the Royal National Park around Sydney. You can go on an organised trip from our campus for a Halloween harbour cruise. You have lots and lots at your disposal, and it makes it an exciting place to be beyond your studies as well. And just to highlight, this is a 5-minute bus ride or about a 20-minute walk from UNSW's campus. So some students might go there for a swim at lunchtime or before class or after class, may live nearby. So it is quite a small bit of paradise in its own right. Now for the nitty-gritty of entry requirements and tuition fees. Entry requirements, so those that may be considering an undergraduate program at UNSW Sydney, there are 3 streams in which we could consider you, and that's through the completion of a first year of a recognised university bachelor degree, the completion of a recognised college or polytechnic diploma, or as we highlighted, that there's the UNSW Global Diploma, and upon successful completion, you could gain entry into the 2nd year of an appropriate bachelor's degree. For those looking at postgraduate coursework, so that's master's programs generally, we look for an appropriate undergraduate qualification from a recognised university. Now, key to that is assessing your grades on the postgraduate coursework entry score calculator. So that converts grades that are in a numerical or alphabetic system, and it will allow you to determine whether you meet the conversion grade of what's required for the academic conversion at UNSW Sydney. What's really important also is to take note of any professional or other relevant experience that you have, and that can at times shorten the length of the degree that you may have to complete that's of interest. So some courses may reduce that by a few units of credit, or if you're lucky enough to have a lot of experience in an area, it may even reduce this by a semester or a term. So do check that out and be familiar with it when you make your application. Of course, we require English language proficiency, and you can submit results from an accepted English language test, such as IELTS or TOEFL, and they must have been completed within 2 years of the start date of the program. Fortunately, we also have pre-sessional courses available through our Institute of Languages, and they can give you more information about that as well if needed. In terms of tuition fees, I've given you some median figures here. These are based on modules or subjects completed rather than one standard fee. It is a funny thing about the Australian higher education system that these particular fees are somewhat interchangeable or subjective, in that the modules you select from different faculties or areas of study come at a different price. So generally speaking, in terms of US dollars, these range from $29,000 at an undergraduate level, or $27,500 on average at the postgraduate level. But you'll be able to find specific details under each course listing. Now, finally, a popular consideration is the scholarships that are available at any university. Now, for coursework or master's scholarships, we have a scholarships database, which you can find at scholarships.unsw.edu.au. And if you search under the international scholarships and use the fields that are provided in the database, it'll narrow down exactly what you would be eligible for as a Russian national. So if you register your interest and you check the requirements attached, that's an important step in the process. But you can apply for the under our research school. Some of the key that are available: research, the University International Postgraduate Award, and the Tuition Fee Scholarship. So you can check out the details and the deadlines all on that website. One new exciting area that's come through in the last couple of years, and it forms part of UNSW's 2025 strategy, is the launch of the UNSW Ciencia PhD Scholarship Scheme. Now, there are a number of different key areas that focuses on, priority areas for the institution, and you can find those under the Ciencia Scholarship website directly. But what is quite advantageous is that there are 125 awards available each year, and we're trying to attract the best talent from across the globe to support the institution and to add to the institution's diversity and skill set going forward. And that's one of the underlying emphases of this particular scheme. So that basically summarizes everything I wanted to cover today. These are my details. You can contact me at travis.edwards@unsw.edu.au. You can also liaise with Christina at Direct Talk, or of course Natalia as well, regarding these particular areas. But if you want to contact me about anything specific to UNSW as well, please feel free to do so. So that's basically it from me. I will stop sharing. Yeah, back. Now, I'm not sure if Christina wanted to add anything regarding questions and answers.
Yes, thank you for your great presentation. So, yeah, we have some questions, and I will post some questions in this chat box. You can see these on the right.
Okay, thank you.
Here it is. About internship, of course.
Yes, they can do. We have two ways in which you can make use of the internship opportunities available. One is through our Careers Centre. Registering through our Careers Centre will allow you to do that in a number of ways. We have an established program for some students that are interested in following a particular pathway for an internship, which is it's a competitive process, so you're not guaranteed, but you have access to. The other option is to make use of the different careers fairs that we run, where leading firms in Sydney and Australia come to our campus to recruit students for internship programs as well. So that would be dependent on your industry, but we do provide support.
Okay. We have another question.
Very good.
Here is.
Okay, so the question is related to if I have completed a bachelor's degree that's in English, will I have to complete an IELTS or TOEFL or another English language proficiency qualification? Excuse me. That's a very good question. Normally not. If you are able to prove that you have completed an English qualification in the last 2 years, that's completely in English, and you can prove that with a letter from the institution, or the transcript is indicative of that from a recognized institution. That's a nice way of being able to indicate that you meet the English language proficiency requirements for UNSW Sydney. I think this next one is in Russian. I was wondering if you might be able to translate.
No, it's for Natalia. Yeah, he has her microphone off. So the next one, question from the same student about the average grades are so high.
And is this specific to the diploma?
I think it's, no, it's this same student that asked you about bachelor degree in Europe.
Right.
So I think it's for masters.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, when you apply for the postgraduate coursework programs, if you run a search on our postgraduate coursework calculator, it'll vary from each place, because if your pass grade is at one level, it can change between each European country or international country before determining where you fit. Generally speaking, we want what's the equivalent of 65% or 65 from 100 as it converts for most disciplines. Some, such as law, for example, will require something a little bit higher.
Okay. And we have the next question about Russian students. How many Russians do you have?
Russian students?
Or maybe Russian speaking.
Oh, okay. Well, I know Russian students in general, we have about 40 at the moment at the institution. So with 53,000 students, you'll almost certainly have to be engaging people from all over the place, and even Australians. So it's an important part to be able to mix with people, but there are some Russians that we do have enrolled at the moment.
Okay. Next one.
Okay, the next question, how many PhD applications in business do you have per place available? What is the chance? Sorry, I missed that last bit. Is it possible? There we go, sorry. Okay, somehow I've missed that last one. So it's about PhDs in business?
Yeah, I can send you once more.
Yeah, thank you. How many places do we have available? What is the chance for someone with little research experience to get a scholarship? Okay, well, in terms of research applications in general, so that might help more than just those that are interested in business specifically. There isn't a defined number or ratio I can give you as to the success rate. All I could say is that they are available, and they're key to being able to apply for a research program is identifying a potential supervisor. So you can do that through going to our graduate research office on their website, Some programs will require you to fill out a form with an expression of interest. Others will expect that you get in touch with the potential supervisors directly by looking at our website, looking at the research links that they have, their areas of expertise, and deciding as to who would be most appropriate and getting their confirmation first. If you're going to get in touch with a potential academic supervisor, some key things to consider are indicating where you're studying at the moment, what you want to focus your research on, how you plan to fund your research. Do you need a scholarship? Do you already have funding? Will you be self-funded? And a little bit more about your academic background, any professional experience. I guess also it's critical to note that some of the leading academics and researchers at UNSW Sydney are getting contacted a lot, and you don't want to bombard them or give them too much information. It's important to make it succinct and clear so that they hopefully respond to you quite quickly. I hope that's helpful.
Excuse me, Fred, may I ask you a question which students approaching me ask sometimes? Are there any deadlines for applying?
Right.
Or you don't have because it's PhD, once a student finds a supervisor is fine?
Yeah, it's somewhat subjective on that front. If there are normally the bulk of our academics would prefer that they start in line with the academic intake periods. I think that helps things from an administrative point of view. So going forward, that will be at UNSW Sydney, as we move to a term structure, will be February and September for 2019. For 2018, as it stands, the next intake for semester 2 is in July. So they're generally how they like to work things. It's also, for those that are in need of scholarships, you have to work around how each of those scholarship deadlines appear. So earlier in the calendar year is the best time to be applying for those scholarships in line with the deadlines for the intakes. So there are a few variations. Naturally, the earlier you start to investigate this with a potential supervisor, the better. It gives you more time to prepare all the documents required and find the right person. It's obviously a critical part in the process to be satisfied and to feel that you're going to have some interesting and exciting opportunities as part of the project you're working on. Interestingly, there may even be some academics that are working on current projects that you may be able to form as part of the team, and that may change that particular process. So the long and the short of it, best off if it's during one of the key intake periods, but that's not limited to after you engage with an academic, if that helps.
Thank you. And probably one more question for me. For UNSW, to start academic year in February for your particular institution, what's the deadline to apply?
Right. So
program.
Yeah, so the end of November is the deadline for the intake at the beginning of each academic year.
Okay.
That's it gives people a bit of time if they're completing a European qualification in the European or Northern Hemisphere summer to get things together. That's not to say that people aren't applying earlier and taking spots earlier as well. So it's important to get that together as soon as you can. If you're getting towards the end of the academic year and you're interested, putting together your transcript along with any kind of supporting documents for our admissions team to review is a key part of the process. And I always try and suggest that people do their best to try, if they're keen to do a master's in Australia or any postgraduate study, to get that in order well before that November deadline.
Okay. Thank you, Drew.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have another questions.
Okay.
It starts with, hi, I am going to enroll postgraduate course in the field, surviving.
So is there a few here, sorry? Is this one from
here is
Aline?
3 questions. Yeah.
Okay, right, very good. So it's not just one. Okay, so could you please tell me how many PhD applicants in business you have placed per year? Hi, I'm going to, sorry, that one we've already answered. Hi, I'm going to enroll in postgraduate course in surveying geosystems, I think. Does the university provide a 2-year master's program? Well, normally in that area, you'll find that our Faculty of Engineering Science is best placed to guide you on that. The offerings that we have in the Master of Engineering are quite diverse. As I said, there are some 24 different specialisms that you can choose from. In addition to that, if you look at the course material for the Faculty of Science offerings, you may find something in the area of earth science as well that may be more specific. Naturally, if you're going to look at this type of program, you want to look at the types of modules or courses that are included, and that'll give you an idea exactly of the types of specialisms you can progress with, but also what might be most interesting to you and your professional development. I may have an idea of what's included, but ultimately, as the student, you may want to double check exactly what particular master's program you're looking at. Some of those, as I said before, if you have extensive experience in engineering or those related to the field of surveying and geoscience, you may be able to get some credit based on your professional experience and or academic background. So do check that out and make sure you include a CV or other evidence as part of your application. Now, how many higher research degree students are admitted yearly into the business school? I don't unfortunately have those statistics. That's something that's retained in-house on that basis. I think that it's important not to limit yourself to consider a ratio or a limit. If you're interested in applying in a research program at UNSW Sydney or at any institution, I think it's important that you just proceed with the application process and take it forward if that's what you want to do. Now, I think there's one from Dimitri, the GMAT qualification. Now, you'll find that the GMAT is a requirement for a number of our programs, and that's subject to change for our MBA. So you're going to have to double check the MBA requirements for next year. Normally, that is a requirement as part of the application. So make sure you have that together. Any other kinds of professional experience that you need, and it may indeed be necessary to interview for that program as well. So you'll find a full overview of that on our course listing.
Yes, I just had. Дмитрий, для программы MBA в AGSM требуется сдать GMAT, но не очень там высокий балл требуется, минимум 550 у вас должно быть, поэтому вполне проходной, но сдавать нужно.
Thank you.
So I think we don't have any more questions.
Okay.
Thank you, colleagues, to join us today.
Thank you, Christina.
Yeah. Уважаемые зрители, слушатели, спасибо, что подключились, задавали ваши вопросы. Если вдруг они останутся, не переживайте, вы можете их задать после. Как вы видели, есть контактные детали и Трэвиса, и наши. Соответственно, любые вопросы вы можете адресовать нам либо напрямую, либо в университет. Будем рады вам помочь, ответить, сориентировать. Сегодняшняя трансляция записывалась. Также те, кто зарегистрировался на сегодняшнее мероприятие, получат и запись сегодняшнего вебинара, и презентации наших спикеров, чтобы вы могли спокойно все рассмотреть, изучить, почитать и уже после задавать ваши вопросы. So, thank you. Have a good day, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, colleagues.
And have a good weekend.
Thank you too, Natalia. Bye. Again, guys. Thanks for your attendance.
До следующих встреч. До свидания.
Всем до свидания. Спасибо. Обращайтесь, если будут у вас вопросы.